I remember when I was a kid growing up in the 1970s and 80s, I'd wake up, let's say it's a non-school day, and I would think, oh, what am I going to do today? What fun things can I do today? Maybe I'd eat some cereal for breakfast and watch some cartoons on TV if it was a Saturday. If not, maybe my friends and I would ride bikes throughout the neighborhood and see what kind of fun we could get into as we explored our world as we got older, and see what we could investigate and where we could go. Or maybe we'd stay inside and play board games, or sort through our baseball cards, or if it was winter, maybe we'd build a snow fort, or have a snowball fight, or make a snowman, or go sledding. Or as we got older, we might go to the mall and play video games and go to the arcade and go to the food court like so many 1980s kids did in America. Then there was dinner time and with family and maybe TV at night, and of course there were things I didn't always want to do, like visit my relatives, or do chores or things like that, or do homework. But not once did I wake up and think, oh, I'm so worried about the state of this country and the degradation of the culture, or the war in Vietnam, or inflation, or the loss of manufacturing jobs to other countries, or Russia, or the Cold War, or racism, or sexism, or religious wars, so on and so on. Now, there were things I didn't want to do. There were obligations. There was some stress, of course, but I did things based on what my school told me or my parents told me. But outside of that, I didn't worry. I pursued things I wanted to pursue. As an adult, we lose so much of this naivete of youth and the nice ignorance of youth. And it's replaced with responsibility of adulthood and the strong opinions of how much injustice is in the world, how the world should work. And then as we get older, we think about how the world used to work, and we get angry about that. Still strong emotions, still the same emotions there of stress and fear and worry and anger. I want to be done with all of that. It's getting harder and harder to do, however. The news is not only in our face all the time, but it's presented in a way to get the biggest emotional reaction out of us, whether that's fear or sadness or outrage. And they've been working at it for over 300 years, or maybe even longer, as long as media's been around, right? They've crafted it, they've amplified it through TV, through cable news, and now, of course, social media. Politics are more divisive than ever. I'm telling you, I have outrage fatigue, and I just don't want to engage in it any longer. A year or two, I deleted the news app from my phone, so I don't check the news much anymore at all. Of course, it still gets to me. I still hear about things. There's no worry about that. I unplugged from social media. I'm still on YouTube, obviously, but Facebook, for sure, the biggest offender. Just there to get reactions. I mean, at least it got reactions out of me. People were posting stupid opinions about stuff, and I'd be triggered. I'd want to respond to these political posts or hot takes, and I want to set them straight, and I want to I'm going to craft this great response, and I'm going to set them straight, and I'm going to set the world straight, and this is going to, it's exercise in futility. I rarely responded, really, but I would still get worked up nonetheless. So I don't even go on Facebook anymore. Maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I stopped voting. Basically just stopped caring about politics in general. Now, one reason you could say is that I was just disgusted by both sides. I could see the lies and deceit and the power grabs and the mindless sheep-like behavior of their followers. But another answer was it was just healthier for me to disengage completely. It's just healthier for me. And I'll tell you, it's just one of the best decisions I ever made. I don't know if I'll not vote forever or if I'll be disengaged forever, but I don't need to make a declaration. It just works for me right now. I'll have to warn you, if you do this, people will get upset with you. They get triggered themselves, and they're like, what do you mean you don't vote? Well, how do you participate in our democracy? And this is a right we have to vote. We should exercise it. And maybe that's okay, but just don't complain about anything if the person you want doesn't win. I'm like, well, I probably won't complain, but I have the right to complain. Last I checked, it's a free country. I have freedom of speech like anybody else. So if I want to not vote and also complain, that's my right too. I'll do what makes me happy. So don't worry about it. The bottom line is my happiness is not defined by who wins or loses elections. It's not defined by these inflammatory issues. Whether Trump is guilty or Biden is guilty or or what's happening with genders, or what's happening with LGBTQ, or COVID, or climate change, or taxes, or Taylor Swift. Now, of course, I have my opinions on things, and I don't mind a good philosophical debate or a friendly discussion, but I'm not going to get worked up about it. I'm much more concerned with being present for my kids, creating things, listening to music, creating YouTube videos, working on my finances, doing a great job at work, working on my career, traveling. You get the picture. My happiness. So at least in that sense, I'd like to live like a kid again and let others worry about the state of the world. I'm pretty sure it will still be here when I wake up, when I'm ready, and everyone will I'll have to adapt to things just like everyone else will. So consider this video permission to disengage from the news and politics and voting if you want, and rediscover what brings you joy. Please leave a comment if you agree, and as always, thanks for watching.